Hello and welcome to Heart to Art, where we explore the journeys, passions, and purpose behind the artists who bring creativity to life. And I'm so excited, thrilled actually today to welcome Heather Christine. She is a Mississauga-based award-winning vocalist, producer, composer. Her music, I'm just so excited. So I'm just going to say what I want to say, which is basically listening to her songs was like going shopping and coming out of the fitting room with the perfect outfit. Her music is a fusion of jazz, R&B, soul, pop. I've been listening to it over and over again. And listeners, please find her. She is known as being soulful. But not only that, she's built this beautiful, multifaceted career in the arts. So I'm so excited today to welcome Heather Christine.
Thank you so much, Peta, for that generous introduction. I'm honored to be here, and thank you for the work that you're doing in our community as well.
Oh, my pleasure. I don't even know where to start because I have so much to ask you. You do so much in the community. Your songs are so amazing. So let me start at the very beginning. What brought you into music? What was the first time that you remember thinking, this is what makes me alive?
Well, I was a little baby girl and I was taking piano lessons. So at this age, maybe 6 years old or 7 years old, and I was playing one of the piano songs called Lavender's Blue. And then I just started to sing the melody along. And my mom was sitting next to me and she was like, oh my goodness, this girl has a voice. So I was, oh my goodness. So I was enjoying that. And then what happened was my mother told the piano teacher, who was a lovely Mississauga, is a wonderful Mississauga musician and teacher, Christina Sanchez. And she told me to take vocal lessons with Eleanor Calbez, who was really one of the mothers of the Mississauga music community here in the city of Mississauga. She was a Broadway performer and one of the world's first women from the Philippines to ever make it to Broadway.
Wow.
And she settled here in the 1970s in Mississauga and created the Mississauga Opera Company that is no longer in existence. But she really put down such important roots and taught so many of us vocalists how to sing. So my mother took me over to her and she got me into vocal lessons. And she had incredible summer musical productions that she put on and many choirs. So I was a little child exposed to this early Mississauga music community. And I'm so grateful that I was able to experience that world of love because it really laid the blueprint in my mind of what a true musical community is and the sense of like love and care for each other. So that's how my journey began. And I'm so grateful that I did have that interaction and was able to be educated by Eleanor.
How old were you? Around?
So I started taking piano lessons at 7. I sang in the Filipino children's choir that my piano teacher put in. So I did that for a few years. And then my official voice lessons with Eleanor began when I was about 11 years old. So I studied with her up until RCM grade 10, Royal Conservatory, and I finished training with her when I was about 19 years of age. And those were just such incredible experiences for me to like be trained by her, look up to her as a female leader in the arts and someone who was building community. She was award-winning. She was breaking down barriers. She was one of the first women of color to ever be featured on the front page of the Toronto Star newspaper for dancing with Prince Philip. So she was just this amazing woman here in the city of Mississauga. Before we really had many music institutions, she was creating these opportunities. So I feel like so many of us stand on her shoulders.
And you are known as a champion of community and supporting other artists. But even before you started doing that, what I'm hearing is that your mother, started this journey for you by just recognizing your talent.
Yes, absolutely. My mother is a very creative woman herself, and she's a background in nursing. And her grandfather was a professional jazz player named Pete. Oh my goodness, sorry, I'm having a pop up.
That's okay. We can always go over this. So
Yes, my pop-up. So pop-up played with some jazz legendary people like Dizzy Gillespie and Miles Davis and Max Roach in New York City at the time of the bebop era.
wow.
And he played the sax, I know, and he sat in for Charlie Parker and played with Charlie Parker. And I didn't get to meet my pop-up, my great-grandfather, but I feel like because she knew him and she knew his journey in the arts and all that he had done and the accomplishments that he had achieved in his lifetime. And then later he worked for the government. So she had a great respect for the arts. So I think when she saw me expressing myself and my like childish, glee, she really supported that. And my parents are both incredible advocates for the arts and have a lot of respect, and they value what we bring to community, and they really respect like holistic wellness and how creative expression is so integral for healthy life and for healthy
It is.
communities.
It
And
It absolutely is, and you have done so much for the community. Let's go to that because you put on something called West Vocal Jam,
yes.
and isn't she lovely? So let's start with West Vocal Jam. What is that?
So West Vocal Jam is a community showcase. We have a professional top jazz band that's provided for singers, and we have over 20 singers that come each month to sing a song of their choice for an engaged, supportive community of Mississauga live music lovers. And we have people from outside of our community that join us every month, and it also features a mini showcase by one of our professional artists from the community. And we're so blessed to have had singers like Kat Bernardi, Carla Gonzalez, Donovan Locke. We've had Liberty Silver, the Grammy Award-winning artist, perform for us, many mentors. And it's a really important jam for me because we don't have enough showcase opportunities.
Right.
So this is an opportunity for us to get together, to share our talents, to network, to learn from our mentors, to support our youth, and to actively build a bigger audience together of live music supporters, because we have it in the city of Mississauga. It's just creating these opportunities for artists to get together in the room and do what we do best.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And what about Isn't She Lovely? What is that about?
Yes. So Isn't She Lovely was a female showcase performance that I put together showcasing local ladies in jazz. And the show featured our Juno Award-winning Liberty Silver, our mentor to me and so many others. It featured Denise Leslie, and another inspiring, dynamic woman of music from our local community in Clarkson. It featured Kat Bernardi, our wonderful vocalist, jazz vocalist from Port Credit, Carla Gonzalez Casanova, who is our featured. She's just an incredible performer representing, of course, our Latin community here in Mississauga. And we did a main stage performance at the Oakville Center for the Arts back in 2024. And we also did a big show at the Living Arts Center here in Mississauga with Patty Janetta, who's another mentor. And it was just an honor to produce these events and to showcase our women. And we had fabulous musicians backing us up. We had a wonderful Bill King, who is a renowned Canadian pianist, who was our musical director. And at the Oakville Center, we had Stu Harrison, who is the owner of Miriam School of Music.
You've done so much in the community. What led you to do so much community work and to be mentored by and also mentor yourself, young musicians? What I know you're a champion of showcasing other performers.
Yes.
And I love that about you. And even your song, One World. What a lovely song about building community. And there's a line in it. Oh gosh, what is it? We're building together.
Yes.
I love that line. We're building together. What made you this person?
Thank you so much, Peta. Well, I have to tell you, I performed professionally very young. I was chosen to be in the shows at Canada's Wonderland, and I did a lot of professional work. And then I had a few hard years of being a young person, of being unprepared for the professional world and going through a lot of rejection, which back in those days we didn't talk about. And it was definitely traumatic for me, and I didn't even talk about it. Then I went back to college, and I found myself working at 22 years of age for the Mississauga Arts Council. I was hired as their communications coordinator, and those were incredible years in my 20s working at the Arts Council and building community. And I created our very first open mic program when I was 23 years of age, and that program, it's almost 20 years later, it's still running to this day. And I'm so grateful that I was empowered at the Arts Council to create that for the community. So I think in those years I was taking a step back from myself as a performer, and I said to God, I'm like, if you won't let me be a performer, then please just let me use my gifts for the greater good. Like, let me just sing in church, and let me just, whatever you want me to do, just please just let me be of service. So those were years where I really stepped back, but it gave me this opportunity to meet so many artists in our community of Mississauga, amateurs, professionals, and our mentors. And I was able to meet people like Liberty Silver and Don Breitup. And when I was younger, I met Oscar Peterson, and he cared about our young people. They were there for the community. So I feel like those were soul to soul experiences for me that I will never forget. So I carry that with me. And then after that, I worked for the city of Mississauga for 1 year as the supervisor of program development for Meadowville Theatre, programming the professional shows and doing outreach. Mm-hmm. And then after that, I worked for about 6 years for Visual Arts Mississauga. And all during that time, I was singing again professionally and healing in my own experiences and feeling safe to express myself. And then I feel like then the universe was giving me more professional opportunities. And then I had to go back down to part-time. And then it came to the time where I said, okay, I can't handle this. I have to make the jump and actually become a full-time professional singer. And I did it. It's been 5 years, Peta.
That's incredible, because that is my next question. I think many of us out there, well, first of all, the young people need us so badly. They need community. But second of all, there are people out there and that just want to leave their 9 to 5. Yes. They want to, it's not that a 9 to 5 is bad, but when you have these passions to do your creative work, it's all you want to do. Yes. And you come alive doing it, but you have managed to do it.
Thank you.
5 years now.
I know.
How did you do it? For anybody out there who is thinking of making the jump, the leap, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, so first thing is, it is possible. It is possible. I wish I knew when I was younger that it is possible, and you will find a way, and there's different paths. So the first thing is, when I was a young woman, I was single for many years, living on my own. I said to myself, I'm going to become my own patron. I am my own patron. I'm not looking for a sugar daddy to take care of me, mom, dad. I moved out of the house very young. So I moved out first at 19, went back home, moved out again at 20, moved back home. Then finally, once I was staff at Mississauga Arts Council, I left the nest at 24, and I was out, and I worked extremely hard those years, working full-time at MAC and also freelancing. So I did as many shows as I could, as many cabarets. I did any gig. I was working really hard, and then it was a step-by-step process. So once I was at a certain place that I was making enough income, then I went down to part-time when I was at Visual Arts Mississauga. And I said to my boss at that time, because I was touring on the weekends doing a Patsy Cline tribute show, it was just too much to be working 7 days a week. And as artists, we have to take care of our mental health. We have to take care of ourselves, because I feel like people don't understand that you are giving your body, your mind, your heart, your spirit. This is your soul. Yes. And we have to recharge. There's also a psychological, we're not pretending. This is who we truly are. So it's so integral that we rest. And I think looking back over those past years, I could have been resting more. So I eventually step by step went back. I went down to 4 days a week. Then I went down to 3 days a week, and all while building my freelance income. And then eventually it was just too much. I wasn't getting enough time off, and I left my job, and it was like, whoa, I could do it. So you can do it. I'm not going to lie. It is a struggle. There are times where, things are really great and you don't have time off and you're making a lot of income, and then times when it's slow. Like we went to Hawaii in January and I really needed a rest, but I really wasn't working that much in January. So I've learned to really save. I always save a lot so that it can help give myself that stability. And I think the biggest lesson that I have learned now is that us professional artists, it's important we know our worth so that we are educating the public, we are educating the people that hire us what our value is, because I think by and large society, it's you're in a struggle with people understanding that yes, you have to pay for the arts, you have to pay for performances. You want a professional singer, you pay the lawyer, you pay the doctor, you pay the cleaning person, you're going to pay the singer, and you have to pay a certain amount. So that is my big learning. Like I've performed for audiences of 25,000 people. I've toured as a leading lady. I've done all of these big shows. I'm played on Jazz FM. If you're nickel and diming me, it's not my fault. There's something wrong with the perception in our public. So that's why I feel like as artists, if we've made it, we have a responsibility to give back. We have a responsibility to look out for our young people, and we have a responsibility to be advocates for the arts. And we can't control what happens in the rest of the world, but I think in Mississauga, we really care about each other. We really care about our elders, our mentors, our youth, our colleagues. So it's important that we are empowered to know our worth, to say, no, we're unified, and you cannot be not paying us.
I think you just struck something in my heart. I'm a bit at a loss for words right now, because some cultures don't even recognize the arts as a viable career journey for their children, and they steer them so far away. And also many artists, sometimes some things or art may come easy to us, so we don't value our own self. And get taken advantage of sometimes because we don't value.
Oh, absolutely. And that's why I like to produce, because then Mama Heather can come out and I can, if I'm not going to bring my show to your venue unless I have this amount for all my people, everybody is paid, and it's control, but I'm not going to call on my ladies if I know that they're not paid a certain rate. So it's a lot of work for me to do that, and I'm not always comfortable in that leadership position, but I'm learning to be more, to not shy away from taking that authority, because I think it's difficult for many of us in the female experience, because what our culture teaches us to be humble and to be and kind, and it can be really difficult to stand up for ourselves in many positions of asking for higher rates or knowing our worth. And I think that is something, it's an ongoing battle of overcoming those old limiting beliefs. And I think that I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
I do. It can be so hard to ask for what the going rate is or what your worth is. I've struggled with this for years when it comes to my art, and I have friends who paint who have the same issues. The art is worth this, but nobody wants to pay that. So it's an ongoing issue, but also for women in the workplace in general. Men will ask for raises more. This has been proven, where women really hold back. So it's really something that we need to all support each other, encourage each other, and work on it together.
Absolutely. And I feel that there will be a time when we get together back in one room, and we are going to be like unified and going to be working on this problem solution together.
Yes, absolutely. So you are award winning. I actually looked at your website and saw that you got a shout out from Gloria Esteban. Oh my gosh.
I couldn't believe
That's
that.
amazing. That's
Thank
amazing.
you.
So you were Music Artist of the Year in 2023, Best New Artist Award 2018 in Mississauga Music. You were nominated for a Marty Award in 2025. All this is wonderful.
2021.
2021. And even better than all those awards, a love story came out of the Marty Awards.
Yes.
I heard you met your husband, also a musician, at the Martys.
Yes. Okay. So that's true. I had laid eyes on him before, but when I worked for the Mississauga Arts Council, I mean, I shouldn't even tell this, but I was single in those days, and we had so many wonderful people because we have so many incredible artists. And I used to flirt with the boys. I shouldn't say that. With so many gorgeous men artists. So one year we needed to sell these tickets, and I knew all these boys, so I was calling like, come on. I'd call them, like, come be to the show. Come to the Martys with us. No. So I called Matt, and I said, hey, Matt, why don't you come to the Martys and join us this year and be my date? And then he was like, I just was kind of joking because so he was really serious. And then he came to the Martys that year, 2013, and he was all dressed up. And my girlfriend, Carla Gonzalez, said to me, Heather, this Matt guy is really like serious about you. And then he came and he was so sweet. And I was like, oh man, he's really serious here. So we kind of had a nice little, time while I was working the event. And then after we went out with a few friends for sushi, and one thing led to another, and we dated, and things progressed very quickly, and we moved in and got married, and boom. And it has just been such a beautiful experience, and I love this man so much, and we learned so much together, and we're really in a very creative household and crossing many thresholds together, and we've been through many challenges together, but just seeing him grow and express himself and be a full-time artist and write and give back to the community has just been such an honor. And I feel we still have a lot of years ahead of us. So it's just been, I'm so grateful to the Arts Council.
Yeah, so he is a full-time musician as well. That's amazing.
He is, and when I met him, he was running his family business, and he has he was doing that for years. And same thing as me, he was working around the clock and exhausted and never getting a day off. And I said to him, "Look, it's time for you to make your dreams come true, and it's okay for you to say to your parents, I want to leave this." And he was the first to step down. And same thing for him. He was like, "Wow, I can actually do it." He was able to sustain himself, and it's been over 10 years for Matt now. And then so seeing him do that first, and then it kind of helped me to gain that confidence to do that for myself. And I'm not going to get you wrong. The arts is challenging. So it's not as easy as it was when you're working in other fields where people don't question you. So it's always an ongoing battle. But it's something, though, that at the end of the day, I'm so grateful in this lifetime. I got to live my true life. And I got to have full autonomy. And I'm sovereign in my decision making. And I'm able to be alpha of my work. I'm able to do that. Whereas sometimes it can be more difficult, in other situations when you have restrictions or whatever. So we still work in collaboration with people constantly, and other people hire us, and we're a team member. We're not calling the shots, but to be able to give myself that experience to really follow my soul's prompting and do what I want to do and create the work that I know that we need. I feel like you can't put a dollar value on that. You cannot put a dollar value on that.
You can't. It's everything that most of us who are artists want. We all want that. We want that creativity. We want that autonomy.
Yes.
We all want that. And to know that you can be financially independent through your art.
Yes, like
Oh,
I'm not gonna lie. It's hard work, and you're always aware of that. So that's entrepreneurial life. You're aware of
yeah.
it. You have to be able to like let it go at times. And we work out of our house at this point, but we are looking to rent a studio space. So things are progressing, and I'm really grateful for it. And it's a rewarding life experience. That's the only way that I can say it. And to be able to see what's happening in the city of Mississauga and the Arts Council and the different funding streams that are now available and how we're able to really work together as a unified community and help each other, like that feels so good, because the secret is we need to work together. And I think that so much of my experience of where I'm at right now is undoing the conditioning, the psychological conditioning that I think as young women in singing and music that we're kind of taught competitiveness just growing up in the system and doing all the vocal
Yeah.
competitions. And so it's learning to undo that way of thinking and say, no, we're collaborators, we
Yeah.
are working together.
Yes.
How can I serve your project? How can you serve my project? Let's pay each other. Let's put each other on platforms, because I feel that when women work together, it gets attention. It gets attention. People love to see it. And there's a certain strength and energy and charisma that you just don't get anywhere. So that's really what I'm learning right now, and that's what I'm trying to embody, and
Yes.
questioning some of those limiting beliefs of like, why do you feel threatened, Heather, when that comes up? Why are you jealous, honey?
Yeah.
Why are you feeling that? And it's
Yeah.
okay. She can be a
Yeah.
great singer too, and you can learn from her. It's
Yeah.
okay.
It it is so hard, but it is worth it if you can get to that place. Someone told me a long time ago, anytime those feelings of jealousy come up, the best thing to do is to say, well, I'm not that person, but what does that person have or do that you want? You won't be them, but you can, what's the word? You can move in that direction.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you don't have to copy, you don't have to feel jealous. You just have to think, well, why am I jealous? Is it because they dance well? Well, maybe I could take a dance class, for example.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's an amazing creativity writer. You probably know Julia Cameron, the creator of The Artist's Way. And she says,
I do know.
jealousy is a map. Jealousy is a map. So it's telling you you would like to have these milestones, you would like to have these experiences. And I think undoing some of the shame that we might feel on ourselves when we feel that jealousy of like,
Oh,
yeah, that is shame. And that's okay. Like, Heather,
it is
that's
okay.
okay, my girl. Like, you're doing the best you can, and that's all right. And I think that why that jealousy might come up is I feel that, some societal, lessons that were taught very young of like being humble and being humility and standing back. And, so I feel like those are things that we're all kind of collectively moving through. So then when you see a woman just take center stage and say, yes, I'm worth X, Y, Z, and give me the opportunity and I'm not scared, that can be like, ugh, what's she doing? But we can
Yeah.
learn from her. We can
Yeah.
celebrate her. And we too, we
Yes.
can do that. We don't have to wait for anyone to say we're
Yeah.
good enough or we're of value. We
Exactly.
are the authority.
Yes. Yes. It's like these Instagram reels where, people see this beautiful woman walking by and all the women are like this. We don't have to be like this. We can be like,
Yes,
oh,
good for her. And good for.
celebrate her and
Yes.
celebrate yourself as well. If you want that as well, wear the bright clothing. Do what you want to do with your hair. Just be you, because society tells us that sometimes we can't be
Yes,
ourselves, right?
absolutely.
We have to be a smaller version. They almost shrink us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I feel like right now, even for our young girls coming up in this age of Instagram, like Peta, we didn't have Instagram. We were just free of all of that. And I feel like there's so much pressure on
Yeah.
the younger people. So I feel like that's why they need these
Yeah.
experiences where they can talk to you in person and see the old.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to see my mentors and people like Patty Janetta just fill me with inspiration and hope. All of the
I love
barriers
that.
that they have crossed and walked through and all of the challenges, and they're still here and they're radiant and inspired and strong, and our young people need to be exposed to that.
Yes, they do. And to realize that the feeling of when you give back and when you know, enjoy someone else's success or even been a part of their success, that's soul
Yes.
growth for yourself,
Absolutely.
you know?
Absolutely.
Oh, this was magnificent talking to you. Anybody listening to this, I have a lot of friends out there who are into music. Please look up Heather Christine on Spotify if you want just nice, uplifting music that makes you feel good, that makes you feel relaxed and alive at the same time. Look up Heather Christine.
Thank you.
Listen to her music.
Thank you, Peta. And come sing at West Vocal Jam. Everybody is always welcome, and it's your turn to sing with us too.
Wait a minute. Did you say come
Yes.
sing or come listen? Oh, no. I am terribly
Oh,
tone
that's
deaf.
okay. People are always welcome.
I only do shower singing. I only do shower singing. And I'm often told in my household, please, Mom, can you stop? So I am a listener and an enjoyer of beautiful music. That's it. Thank you for coming on Heart to Art.
Anytime.
You are inspiring, absolutely beautiful inside and
Thank you,
out.
Peta.
Thank you
Oh,
so
my
much,
pleasure.
Heather.
And thank you, Peta, for what you're doing and who you are to us in this community. It's so needed, and it makes me so happy to see you doing your podcast.
Thank you. I'll see you
All
on
right,
Monday.
see you on Monday.